Dear listeners, welcome to a new episode today. Everything in life is about numbers and statistics. Everything is measurable. Everything, including age, including performance, including salary, everything basically in life is measurable. That's why in our episode today, we have Dr. Victor joining us from United Kingdom. Welcome to the Yelo Room Podcast, Dr. Victor.
Thank you very much, Victoria. Thanks for the opportunity to join you.
Yeah. Dr. Victor here has over 10 years of expertise in advanced analytics, artificial intelligence, and blockchain. He has trained over 1,200 data professionals in data science and analytics. He has a PhD in mathematics and a master's degree in mathematics. Wow. He has over 130 research citations across over 20 publications. He has attended MIT. He has also received remarkable awards for his contributions to the field, such as the African Icon of Our Generation Award, the Connected Awards as the 158th Certified Global Tech Hero, and the 32nd Certified Professional in the Data category. He is currently a data engineer at CreditSafe, and his mission is helping UK data professionals get jobs in 90 days. Welcome to the Yelo Room Podcast, Dr. Victor. It's so nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us today.
Almost forgot that was me you were talking about.
When I was preparing, I'm like, it's going to take a decade to read out this achievement.
You don't have to. Anyway, I don't count it.
So that I don't have to. Please,
Thank you so much for that. I'm honored.
Yeah, you're one of the pioneers of Africa, actually putting us out there and helping others also come up to this space. So thank you so much for your contributions.
You're welcome, and thanks for what you're doing as well. I mean, you remember I took my time to look at Yelo Room, and I'm proud of you for so many reasons. I will be honest, because you're picking this up even when you're going through the challenges yourself. It shows you're ready to be genuine, right? And this is why we exist, right? To help others cross. And then as you're doing that, yours is actually getting solid. So I'm happy to associate with you and your podcast and everybody that's going to be listening to us this morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are and whenever you're listening to this. I hope that it's going to be a very good use of your time. It shouldn't be a waste of time for you. Thank you so much.
Exactly. So there's a quote you said, and I wrote it down because it is very symbolic. You said, the struggle is real. It's painful. But that pain can become your strength. I resonated with that so much based on, like you said, the position I am right now as a job seeker. I had to transform the pain, move past the pain. It took a while for me to get here. Yeah, you're really an inspiration to so many of us out here. Thank you so much for what you do. So let's dive right in. So our first question for today is, can you share with us a proven roadmap for job seekers to land their dream roles?
I think I call it let me say 90 days, let me say success blueprint, right? But some of those things are things I've been sharing online, on LinkedIn every day as often as I can, right? And it's, I would say it's difficult. It's quite simple. It's something that we just commonly ignore, that we don't do. The first is, the reason why people are listening to me right now, or you're doing this, for people to get mentored and get guided. And this is generic. It's not related to data or tech field or any domain. In life, you need the mentor. At every point in time, you need somebody you're listening to who is guiding you, who has walked through that path. Sometimes they don't need to be close to you. You can actually get a mentor. You can be mentored through books, podcasts like this, online. And if you have direct access to them, that's another opportunity you want to leverage. Well, again, the first thing to do is to get a mentor. Okay, think about it this way. Somebody has actually done what you wanted to do. And success, they say leaves footprints and everything. So you can actually replicate the same thing. All you need to do is to reach out to them, read their books, watch their podcast, and just copy the same thing they did and do the same. Yeah. So that's the first thing of all the things I will list here. And because that makes it easier, I say something, get a mentor to avoid a torment. Wow. They've gone through something, right? A lot of things. Yes. So instead of you to go through that same torment, just allow them mentor you. You don't have to repeat their mistakes. You don't have to do what they have done in the past. Because, for example, when I started my journey, when I relocated to the UK, I was on about 8 boot camps. I was jumping from one paid to unpaid. I got overwhelmed, as a father, as an husband, in a new environment, the code and everything. It was quite strange and difficult, right? Then I was doing all that at the same time, trying to upskill, understand the domain. I thought the answer is in all those things. But now I can't recommend the same method. I've come to understand what works and what is not working. And that is the idea. So a mentor will shorten the journey. The journey that is supposed to take you 40 days will take you 4 days. Do you understand that? And that's the idea. So get a mentor. The next is market research. This is a popular example I use why I don't listen to circular songs, know the circular guide. I still want to use this as an example because probably it's common there. There was a wedding in Nigeria, maybe Davido or something like that went viral.
Yeah.
And if you understand that some people were not invited to that wedding just because of some certain things, they had categories of people they were looking out for. They needed to know their status, their influence on his music, their net worth, and their social, impact and everything like that. So that is the hierarchy of people they want to see there. Meaning that for you to enter the room, you must measure up to a particular level of status. And that's the idea about market and searching for jobs. You don't get into the room for interviews if you don't have what they need to see in you. Then, meaning that if you want to get into that particular place where there's a costume or a particular way you need to appear, you need to be informed about what they need initially. Yeah. So why do people jump into job search without doing the market research first? It is the same reason why people go to school and after 4 years, you will have their searching because what you've been learning is outdated. The people teaching you don't even know what is going on in the business world. They are different. Academia and the working environment, they are two different worlds entirely. You need to go into the market, not even by what I would say on this call, but by you doing the research yourself so that you can be convinced about what the market is asking for. I'll use data analytics, for example. I do this almost every 2 weeks because I have new people launching up, on my launch pad and everything. So the idea is go through the market, search for 20 to 30 jobs, up to 50 sometimes, and look at what they are doing, what they're asking for, what recruiters are posting. They need A, B, C, and D. Look at what is commonly appearing in all those jobs. Usually you will see SQL, it will appear like 60 places out of 20 jobs. You will see Excel, Microsoft Excel will appear like 12 times out of 20 jobs. Power BI and Tableau, if you combine the two, that's a massive, gain for you. It will appear in like 9 to 10 jobs. Python comes once in a while, but people think Python is because the reason why I'm not getting the job invite is because I don't know Python. And I say, what is deceiving you? I do that. I code as a data engineer, as a data scientist and all, but I don't have to make everybody do the same thing. It's an added skill, but not the major skill you need. Do you understand? Then you go to the soft skills, communication, attention to details, numerical skills, a whole lot of that, right? That is just one aspect of the market research. The other aspect is the domain where those skills are being asked for, right? Understand what they need in FMCG. Know what they need when you are trying to do web analytics. Now, understand the industry that is actually asking for data analysts right now. Do you get that? That is, a lot of businesses in Nigeria, for example, are not currently using data or they are not using their data well. While some are, not everyone. Meaning you need to know the domain where you're going into. What will make you a best fit for a particular role is that you have been doing something similar to that thing before. Not just a data analyst, but analyzing the kind of data in that domain or sector. You become a better fit compared to somebody who has been analyzing data, but in another domain entirely. You understand? That makes you stand out differently. And that's the next thing. Now, that helps you to actually have a very good roadmap. Meaning that you have checked what they are asking for. You know that this is what you have and this is what you lack. Then you go for it. You have to be disciplined to learn the skill. The idea is not for us to continue to learn, learning different skills from tutorials, certification, and all sort of things. For me, for example, in the UK, no one has ever asked me for a certificate. Not my first degree, second degree, or third degree. Not even certifications. I'm being honest with you. Okay? So it's a different ball game. Yeah, I understand Nigeria is different, or Africa, or wherever you're listening to. So you have to understand what is obtainable where you are as well. That's where market analysis comes in. Maybe what you see is one Power BI certification. The fact that it is being asked for in the US or in the UK doesn't mean it is the same over there in Nigeria or in Ghana. So you need to know. based on your location and environment, there will be a lot of overlaps, 60%, 70%, but the rest 20% is what will set you apart. So you need to discover that by analyzing the market in your own area. Then after that, gaining tailored experience. Because the idea is that after learning the skills, there's a way you speak confidently when you have done the right thing, meaning when you have been able to use these tools to solve a problem. Businesses exist for one singular reason, to either to make money, you understand, or to make progress. At the end of the day, you are being employed as a data professional to come and solve one of those problems, to help them to get to their goals. So if you don't have the experience of doing this, but you know the tool, there's a difference, right? There's a but. Now I say to people, they say, how then do I gain experience when I don't have a job? And there are a lot of ways, right? Everybody will say you must have seen it online, but people don't take steps. People who are Christians, you go to churches, walk into the department there and say, can I help to analyze your data? Even if they don't have, you'll be the one to start it. I did the same thing in the UK.
Yeah.
You understand? I went to the community where it's just they're about helping immigrants, people just coming in to settle. And I asked, do you have an opportunity for data analysts to just work for free to volunteer here? They said no, but you can start. Do you understand that? And so you can start thinking, even if it's really simple data collection, standing at the door on a Sunday and just doing one simple, a fly or whatever, getting people's information. Where do you stay? Sometimes, people complain, oh, no one is checking on us. You can track that. As simple as that. And what do you notice? You'll be able to record even after 10 or 3, 5, 10 Sundays to say, we notice there is a massive increase in the number of people attending our services just because we now get their data to track them and to notice. That is achievement for you. Then you measure it. I joined an organization and I've been able to take their attendance from so by my data analysis. That is achievement for you. Meaning that I can do the same thing for you. That is what they want you to come and talk about at interviews. There's confidence. You're not fabricating it, The other one is social media. For example, you have a lot of content creators. Someone can even approach you, for example, and say, can I help you analyze the number of people visiting your, some website, your page, attending or watching your podcast? There are a lot of content creators out there. Walk up to them. Start to help them. They call it web analytics, right? Or, digital marketing or digital analytics. You begin to help them to analyze their data. There are a lot of tools like Google Analytics, connecting it to their website, getting the data. If you're a content creator on LinkedIn, there's a place where you can go and get insight. You see the number of views, the comments, and the likes and all sort of things. You can download it and start analyzing it. Look at the day where you got the highest like, the highest comment, so that you can be able to replicate the same thing. The content creator or the owner of the account might be very busy, but you as a data analyst, you're helping them to spot it and say, this particular post had a lot of interactions. Can you repeat something like that? You repurpose the message and then you push it out again. Yeah. And you see the impact again. You as a data analyst have a measurable impact just by doing that. You say, I'm able to help you take your business from A to B by helping you analyze your social media reach and everything. And that's how it works. So many opportunities out there, because the idea is you just have to do it. Then, like I said, if it's not existing, create it. Create it. You understand? And that's the thing. When you now have the experience, you need to know how to write it properly to make it attractive. You see, we say that recruiters will look at your CV for like 6 to 7 seconds. I had to interview a recruiter to confirm this. I was trained and I got a coach. A coach told me the same thing. And I said, why? I said, look at it. Over 100 people will apply to a job. They don't have all the time in the world to start going one after the other, checking each series. People shout ATS, application tracking system, or applicant tracking system, anyone you call it. The truth is, not everybody uses that. I think it's even been overemphasized or discussed than it is actually being in use. Okay, so let's say they use it or not. The truth is, once they want to shortlist, they will still look at the jobs quickly. So they want to look at the CVs they have and quickly shortlist the ones that are very attractive. So the best thing you want to do is to make sure that you communicate your skills and what makes you a different person or a different candidate as quickly as possible. And this is where professional summary comes in. I've seen people say, yeah, I have a portfolio, I have profile, I have all these portfolio projects and everything. And I say, okay, this works, but how effective? I'll give you an example. A lot of candidates are submitting CVs for me as a recruiter. Then I saw some who said he has experience. Another one said I have portfolio projects. Trust me, who am I going to pick? You get, so when you push out your portfolio project there, then you're showing your recruiter, what you're trying to do is to say, please, pity me. Ignore these people that have experience and just take me in. Come, are we existing as a business for charity or for business? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So the other thing I would say in this is that people should start thinking like a recruiter. It's a psychological thing. Start to think and understand how they see you. Then you'll be able to know what to push out. Do you get it? You know what is attracting, you understand them, and what will make them want to shortlist you. Once you do that, that's why I said your first part is the professional summary. In the UK here, you start with your headline, your name, then professional summary comes. You communicate your skills, like technical skills and soft skills. Then your education is the last. Like I said, they really don't, it's not like they don't care, but they count other things more important than that. You might have studied anything you want to study, but we are more interested in what you have done with these skills, helping other businesses. That's why we want to snatch you. Do you understand me? I resumed a job on a Monday, and on a Friday, a lot of recruiters were already messaging me. I was like, boy, you notice I just entered a new place. Come on, are you trying to snatch me? That's the idea. You get, and something happened along the line. I mean, before that time, I was getting a lot of unfortunate. I was checking my email today, and I saw many. I can't even count. Then look at the story I changed. If you look at my posts in the past, you see a lot of things that have, moved from there. And you're like, okay, I think, let me see if I can share this. This will be very small, but then let me see if I can close the note here. Yeah, maybe they'll be able to see. This is just an email containing unfortunate. Those are the unfortunates I received back then. So it's not like I started getting it. I tell people your degree will not make a difference if you don't know how to sell yourself properly. When people get rejection emails, they say I was rejected. No, they didn't see you in person. They saw your CV. Meaning if you have communicated that what they want in the room is what you are presenting to them, they will call you into the room. Trust me. This thing is not a game of who I know, who I don't know. Why that works, but at least firstly, I have something to offer. Now, let me now give you the other thing that had happened after. And so the next slide, you're seeing it. This is me now. If you can read what is on the screen. This is the journey from, unfortunately, to a lot of recruiters reaching out to me, offering me different opportunities all across the country. You see the idea here. I learned something, and this is where the blueprint and the strategy came from. You understand? Knowing what to present to them. What led to this is me trying to optimize my LinkedIn, meaning that after you have been able to adjust and make your CV, very attractive, based on the skills that they want to see in your environment. Like I said, I think over there in Nigeria, they still want your education to come forward. And maybe the simple reason to this, if I can think, is because they want to use it to just limit as many as possible people. So it is expected that you have at least a degree, either HND or, first degree in whatever. Then you bring that first. If you have certifications, I won't believe the singular reason is because, firstly, they want to use it to reduce the number of people that will get into the first stage. You understand? Then on the second stage, they can think about it this way, that it costs a lot to actually run the programs. If you think about it, if you're doing a Microsoft certification in Nigeria, you look at the conversion rate. So you must have passion, or at least be very interested for you to go that far to pay for such amount. So to an extent, it's a plus for you. But over here, I think it's cheaper because we are earning the same currency. So if you rate us based on the number of certifications and compare it in Nigeria, who doesn't have to, pity them. Understand that they are not earning the same currency. You understand me? So that's why that might be applicable there. Okay. After that, your LinkedIn, that place is still like is the largest platform for, let me say, serious-minded people when it comes to social media, right? So people don't take advantage of LinkedIn enough. I posted somewhere that let's say we have over 1 billion people on LinkedIn. Only 1% of the people on LinkedIn actually post contents.
Yeah.
Now, when I say contents now, posting your journey, what you're learning, this makes you stand out. A lot of companies actually employ, a lot of CEOs employ through LinkedIn. I got all my jobs on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is still a go-to place. I was speaking with one of my mentees yesterday. She's working in Nigeria. She has 2 jobs. and she worked for one company in Nigeria and one other company in the UK. You understand? And she got
Huh?
all the jobs from LinkedIn
Wow.
and everything. So you have to utilize the social media. Yeah, that means your profile must be optimized. But that lady has never stopped posting. Even when she got the job, she's still posting and upskilling. Anytime she makes new money, she's up. She's paying for a course. She's trying to improve her skills. But what she doesn't do, she didn't stop doing is to post her journey as well. You think she's a content creator, but she's selling herself. We
Yeah.
have to do that. We have to push ourselves out there. How would they discover you in any way if you are hiding? Well, I don't like to talk.
Exactly.
I don't know what to say. Come on. No one cares. You see, the world is moving, is that it has left the old age now. LinkedIn is like an online CV. Is your public profile out there? It needs to at least become a replica of what you have in the paper. Paper CVs might not do it as much as your profile will do it. If others are submitting CV, make sure you are submitting your profile, putting it in the face of everybody there. Once LinkedIn is optimized, the next thing is to learn how to interview. Interviewing is a skill. I know it's a lot to explain, but like I said, it's a framework. So I want to teach practical stuff, and that's why I'm here. So like I said, go on LinkedIn jobs, just type data analyst, go to the filter, select entry level and associate. You can select location or not. Look at 30 jobs that are specifically written as data analyst. It could come with different names, HR data analyst, customer data analyst, and all, but make sure it is data analyst, not data scientist. So just do data analyst and go through the jobs. From there, you know what your CV is lacking, what skill you are lacking. Once you learn them, try to gain experience doing them, and then put it in your CV. Update your LinkedIn, optimize it, learn. Please, as much as possible, take advantage of free programs. But if you have the opportunity to pay for things, I say to people, pay to learn. I paid a lot of money, for example, to learn how to optimize my LinkedIn, to learn how to interview and to build CV. But with that money I've paid, maybe $3,000, I've made 20x of that money back today. I'm not saying everybody should pay. It doesn't mean I have it. At the time I was paying, I'm not sure I could afford it. But affordability is just a concept that we make up when we are not ready for something. Do you know that?
True.
That's the thing. We can go extra miles to get it done when we really want to do it. God forbid you have to go and do GoFundMe to donate money for yourself. But when it gets there, people still do it anyway. So it's just my advice to people is to make sure they invest in skills. After they have a mentor, it will guide you properly. Then when you learn how to interview, like I said, it's a skill, it's a psychological thing. I see it as dating. Maybe when I start to change people's concept about how to interview, it's like you're going to meet a guy or a lady for the first time. The first thing you do is to know about them properly, so that when you are relating with them, your words are aligning. That's why they say restart the company. Know what they do. So when you are saying something and the person is like, "How did you discover my best color? I never posted it on my favorite color." You'd be like, "Yes, I've observed the clothes you wear, that you like to wear red a lot." Then you went ahead in the conversation. You said something again, and it was like, "Yeah, so I noticed you do this." I'm like, "How did you discover this?" So the first is that you reset the organization properly. What you want to do is to make sure that you leave that place, leaving an impression behind that you are so interested and eager to work with them, not needy. There are two differences. Don't appear needy. Please give me the job, even if I don't have the skills.
Yeah.
You understand? You know how it is when you start feeling uncomfortable when a guy is showing over obsession, with you as a lady. The same way a guy too will feel pushed, you feel that by what's happening. Why is she very needy? You understand? So you don't want to appear needy at interviews. You want to appear like, "Oh, I'm eager, I'm interested. Honestly, I want to work with you for certain reasons." You have stated these reasons, right? So you leave an impression behind that interview. I know it's a journey, like I said, but I want to make sure that you prepare your mind for it. 3 things people should note. You can't go to interviews with the expectation that you answer all the questions. You're not a magician.
No.
Trust me. So don't go to the interview with the mind that you are hoping that they won't ask you questions you don't want to answer. That's why I say to people, anything you can't answer at interviews, okay? Don't put it on your CV. Don't say maybe to make you attractive. And then I'm praying that they don't ask for it. Imagine going for an examination and I say, "Please, God, don't allow them bring out this question." You're
Yeah.
already killing your confidence. What if that's the first question they ask you? So you need to be sure that you dot your I's and you cross your T's, right? Properly. Anything you can't defend, don't put it on your CV. meaning that's what will help you to sit down confidently and know that, okay, let them come for it. And like I say, preparing for interviews, the second thing is, so out of those three that I mentioned, or that I want to list now, the first is that you can get questions that you'll be familiar with. Use the STAR method to answer them. The second question is, those are questions that you don't know. Be honest to say, I am not sure of the best answer, but can I try? In your trying, you might have an idea. What you have done is to show sincerity. It's better to appear, inexperienced than to appear deceitful. How do you want to go along with somebody appearing on your first date and you notice the person is lying to you? Do you want to see them again? Maybe not. Do you get it? So you don't want to appear deceitful at interviews. So how you won't appear deceitful is that you know your CV properly. That goes back to the beginning again. Having the CV that you understand. The reason why they called you for the interview is because they saw a CV that is very attractive, isn't it? Or a profile. Make sure that what you put on your profile and your CV is something you can defend and, talk about it properly. And that's why you need to be careful in writing all this and say, they'll say you should do measurable, it boosts your, achievement and no. Do JJ in boosting, no, please don't go over boosting. Sorry, I had to go my Nigerian way. Yeah, please don't over boost and you won't be able to defend. Be real as much as you can. Just be strategic. That is it. So if one can understand that, then the last part of the question is, those are questions that don't have the right answer or the wrong answer too. They are like behavioral questions, like tell me about your weakness and your strengths and tell me about how you might handle conflict at work. They just want to see how you think, how you do things. So whatever way you answer it, just prepare as much as possible. You can answer it the right way. And this person will say he doesn't think he's comfortable with your answer. That's fine. At the end of the day, you want to try your best. There are days that it's just your lucky day and you're doing well. You want to prepare. So lastly, on that part, your CV is the answer. The job description are the questions. When you are interviewing, they put your CV side by side and they start to tick your answers against what they have listed in the job description. As you're answering them, they're asking you, tell me of when you use Microsoft Excel to analyze this and this, to where you generated how you generated the impact you made. They are looking at your CV and they are paraphrasing what you wrote there. And then you want to make sure you're answering based on what you have written already. Just all they want you to do is to come and expand it and let us hear your confidence. If you are not confident about explaining, that means you didn't do it. You understand me now? And this is where we have to improve our soft skills. Your communication has to be top-notch as much as possible. Your confidence has to come from what you know. But if you don't know how to communicate it very well, what can we do? So I think with all that, you can always change the game for yourself. Your social media is a very important place to stay close to. Twitter has a place for jobs, right?
Yeah.
One special thing people should do, which I think they must have stumbled on, is to go on search, just general search on LinkedIn and type data analyst hiring, HIRING. You will always see people posting jobs that they are hiring, not going for. While you have an alert set for the job aspect of it on LinkedIn, you can set an alert, but this one, I think you should do it frequently. You'll see people who just posted one and they will send their email, send it there, give them the opportunity to look at it quickly. That again helps people to actually get things done faster, and then network. As you're doing right now, what you're doing is networking. Now, let me put it this way. Even if I don't know you more, today we get to know more. You understand? We get to know each other more. If I find an opportunity tomorrow, I'm like, oh yeah, I think I know one brilliant lady. She's doing this, she's doing this. Can we just, work with her? And that is the power of the network you have. Yeah. You get the idea. So people have to network. There are rooms you can't enter that your network can actually break it open for you. You need to network actively and intentionally. I think that is it for me on that. Sorry, I had to say a lot, but again, I wanted to be practical. Thanks.
This is actually so useful and so practical. Like you really stated out everything step by step. And the good thing is this can be applicable to any profession. It's not just data analytics. Like we just mentioned now, it's applicable to communications, it's applicable to development, it's applicable to insurance, it's applicable to finance. So this is a very, very detailed and, tested and proven framework that you shared with us. Thank you so much for that. So based on what you said to contribute to what you said so far, you mentioned that we don't have to wait for like experience. If a recruiter or hiring manager have to choose between someone that has experience and someone that has a portfolio of what they just did, Tommy project or so. So obviously pick someone with experience. So based on that, I graduated from university and I wanted to go into non-profits. So I didn't have the experience. I had no idea what I was doing. I don't know where the idea came from, but I just started sending out expression of interest to non-profits. Like I want to volunteer for them. And it was from my volunteering role that I got a consulting role with United Nations. So that's how it was. We don't have to wait for miracle to come. Or yes, I had the option. And before then, before then, I also did web development. I did so many things. The popular opinion, build websites, do portfolio, but it wasn't working for me. It wasn't, yes, I still have that skill of code. I can still code, but I have to do something different. Even now, when I tell some people that the importance of volunteering, they were like, how will you volunteer when they're not paying money? No, people are really missing out on opportunities actually when they're volunteering. And also, you mentioned LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very, very powerful platform. My second contract I had with an AI startup was from LinkedIn. I was sharing my experience, what I was learning, the project I was working on, and a founder in the US reached out to me. Oh, Victoria, I love your work. I love your writing. Can you come and write for us? It's like that. So a lot of opportunities are actually on LinkedIn. So if you're listening to this episode, you need to start putting yourself out there. It's not comfortable. Yeah, no one is comfortable. Everyone will be thinking what people think, but that shouldn't be your concern. Your concern is what you want out of it. That should, guide what you're doing. And also, another thing that works also is reaching out to hiring managers. You mentioned using Boolean search on LinkedIn or maybe Twitter. When you do that, you have access to the hiring managers directly. Interestingly, I think it was last week. Last week, I saw a role for a content manager. I saw it like, no, I'm not going to apply for this. I just saw the description. I'm like, no, I'm not going to apply for this. What I did was I reached out to the hiring manager directly. I did not apply. I don't know where that confidence came from. I did not apply. I reached out to her directly. And I did, just that day I reached out to her. We had an interview that day. And she closed the application that day. It was a LinkedIn stuff that she opened. So a lot of traditional ways of doing things are outdated, but people are not really grasping it. So for listening to this, Dr. Victor shared a very important and comprehensive framework that you should actually, look into. And let go of traditional way of doing things. Try to be innovative, do something different. I've reached out to a lot of hiring managers, and obviously it's not everybody that will reply to you but keep reaching out. Keep reaching out. In fact, another referral, I got a referral because I was applying for a role and I reached out to people in that the team and I asked for referral to the role. I reached out to 6 people and 1 person replied. And she gave me the referral and I've applied for the job. So things can come from different places. It doesn't have to be a cake and normal way that we're used to. So thank you so much, Dr. Victor, for sharing this. Actually, I am so excited. And I'm sure our listeners have really gotten a lot of value from what you've shared to us today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, just to add to it and to help people for 2-3 things I want to add. When you're listening to programs like this or podcasts or people listening, sometimes people add this troubles of believing things, especially when it seems like, oh, it's generic and I can't blame them. Sometimes I can. It's because of what they've been exposed to. I'll give you an example. Just, earlier I showed you my email where I've been showing a lot of unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
And it seems I've gotten used to that already at some point, that when you are looking at expecting the email to come, you are just trying to search for the unfortunately there. You understand? You're just looking at what did they want to say again this time around. Your mind is already just used to it. So it is possible. Be careful when you get to that state where when you are listening to stuff like this, your mind is not even open enough to actually allow it in and work on you. There's a passage I love to, read every time that says, guide your heart with all diligence, right? Because out of it said, flows the issue of life. You understand? And it said, keep vigilant watch of your heart, right? Because this is where life flows from. This is where life starts from. The mind is actually a very powerful place. It's a powerful thing that people don't need to joke with. It controls so many things in what we see. And we attract what we think about. You see, I usually give this popular example, and it's a psychology thing, right? When you look at a red car and you are interested in buying a red car or a red shoe, you start noticing that kind of car or shoe everywhere. And you're looking at it and see what is happening. It's like this thing is now common. Everybody now has it. No. So there's something we call frequency illusion, right? The brain has the capacity to actually help you focus on what you want to see, things you start paying attention to, and to see, filter out what you don't want to see. Okay. Meaning that if you place your mind on, so they call it frequency illusion, right? And there's another one following it called cognitive bias, right? What that thing does is for you to now confirm that bias you already have. I told you there are no opportunities. There are no jobs in Nigeria for data analysts. Even when the opportunity is clear, you won't see it because you are already there to validate the assumption that you had. So please, it is the reason why the rich and the people getting opportunities get it when others are seeing lack. Why? They have been able to train their mind to notice it anytime. And this is the idea. Focus on positive stuff. Let your mind be open that if others are getting it, I'm going to get it, right? Stay within the community that motivates you to actually stay positive. Meaning that anyone that is giving you negative vibe as to your aspirations, as to your target of landing a role, telling you it's not possible, it doesn't work. You want to live in that environment. You want to plug into a community that supports it where it is happening already. And they say when your neighbors are receiving that, God is around your corner, right? So that is the thing. Help your mind to stay. Also, when it comes to content making or posting, I know we're looking at time. When it comes to content making or posting, right? Think about it as you not even trying to post for yourself. One person will look at your post and be blessed. And that's fine. You see, if you have a lot of skills that you want to start, you want to give it out, you want to share. Think about them more than yourself. How many times have you gone on LinkedIn, for example, or YouTube, and you're searching for how to do something, and what you are looking at, where you found a video that is teaching you that thing, and what you are looking at is the shape of the person's head or how they are structured. You don't care. You learn. When I started my YouTube video, that was what my wife told me. She said, people don't care about how you look if they get the information they want. So people don't care about what you post or what you are trying to put out there as much as they do about the information you post. And we usually think people are looking at us. Everybody is busy worrying about their own problems. If I tell you something, Victoria, as you are right now, do you know there is actually a yellow stain on your clothes or palm oil? I'm sure you look at it and be like, is it true? Okay. Do you know that's not true anyway? The idea is this. If that was there before, all through the conversation, you didn't notice it. But the moment I call your attention to it, your mind will start getting troubled from that moment. Meaning, even it has always been existing. But once you start focusing on that thing, it will look as though all the world is crumbling on you and they are looking at you. Forget about it. Just post it. The last one on this note is that let your light so shine before men that they may see your good work. How do we see your good work when you don't post it out there? You say your gift will bring you before kings and not mere men. How do you want to stand before kings if kings are not seeing what you are doing? Content creation is no longer for anybody who wants to blow. It's about you trying to pass out the right message. Stop complaining people are posting bad pictures and videos online and dancing on TikTok. You join them to dance, but make sure you are dancing the right dance. Post the right content so that others can be blessed. Don't allow the people posting wrong content to continue to reign. Why we with the right content, helpful content, keep it. I know this is not a call for content creators, but I'm trying to say we are in the content age.
Yeah.
And that's how your gift will be seen all over. And you'll be in your room and somebody will ring you. We saw your video. We saw your post. And I think you'll be the right fit for this job. That is how you become a key person in your domain. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, Dr. Victor, thank you so much for joining us today. Like, it's so obvious the passion you have for helping people, pass this very dark stage of life to actually they are landing their dream role. So thank you so much for joining our podcast today.
Thanks for the opportunity to be here again.
I'm going to link Dr. contact details on the description below. So reach out to him on LinkedIn. You need to follow him. He posts a lot of insightful tips on job applications and even more than what he has shared with us today. So till then, thank you so much for joining our episode today. And also thank you, Dr. Victor, for joining us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. And I hope this time has been a great one for everybody listening and watching this. Okay. And I do appreciate you following and connecting. And I'm always willing to share and help. If you can reach out to me, just drop a message to me on LinkedIn. If you have anything to discuss, clarity sections, even about life generally, honestly, I'm so invested in that. I've been doing this for over 10 years, and I've done it across different domains, from finance, mathematics, to music, now to data science. So it's all good. It's like a calling for me. It's a ministry rather than just for the gain of it. Thank you very much.